I got a call Thursday from my ex-wife's mom about a family BBQ at her husband's place, set for today. Even though I'm divorced, I've stayed tight with her family mostly for our kids, but also because we've always gotten along. They invited my girlfriend, Sarah, too, which felt nice. The plan sounded simple: a sunny afternoon with food, drinks, and catching up. I was all in. I spent Friday night prepping. I grilled a batch of BBQ sausages, the good kind with that smoky kick. Sarah whipped up her famous pasta salad, tossing in fresh veggies and her secret dressing. I threw together a potato salad, too creamy with a bit of mustard for zing. We wanted to show up with something solid, contribute to the vibe. It took hours, but I figured it'd be worth it for a good time. I've been to these BBQs before. They're usually laid-back think burgers sizzling, kids running around, and adults swapping stories over cold beers. Sure, sometimes there's a catch. Last summer, they had me help move patio furniture before we ate. Another time, I got roped into fixing a wobbly table. Small stuff, no big deal. I chalked it up to family pitching in, but nothing ever felt forced. And I always left feeling good. Today, I was pumped. The weather was perfect: blue skies, warm breeze, total summer vibes. I threw on a light polo and shorts, nice but casual. Sarah wore a sundress, looking like she stepped out of a magazine. We packed the food in coolers, double-checked, we had everything, and headed over. In my head, I was already tasting the grilled corn and laughing with my ex's cousins. Maybe I'd even get a chance to talk about our kids' summer plans. Still, I had a tiny knot in my gut. Things with my ex-wife's stepdad, Ron, can be unpredictable. He's a big personality, likes things his way. I've seen him turn a chill gathering into a project before anyone blinks. I brushed it off, though, told myself today would be different: just food, fun, and family. Sarah squeezed my hand in the car, and I let the excitement take over. I had no clue what was coming. We pulled up to Ron's house, coolers packed and ready for the BBQ. The patio looked inviting, with tables set for food and music humming. I was still buzzing from the drive, picturing a cold drink in my hand. Then Ron greeted us, all smiles, but his words hit like a curveball. "Glad you're here," he said. "We need everyone to pitch in. First clear the patio and prep the garden." I froze. "Clear the patio." He pointed to piles of dog mess scattered across the tiles. None of it was from my dogs. They were back home. Then he gestured to the backyard, overgrown with weeds and branches. "We're putting up a greenhouse next week," he explained. "You'll help clear a spot." My summery polo and crisp shorts suddenly felt like a bad joke. Sarah's sundress wasn't exactly yard work gear either. This wasn't what I signed up for. I glanced around. My ex-wife's cousins and their spouses were already grabbing shovels and gloves. Like this was normal. Ron's tone was firm, like he expected no pushback. "Everyone's helping," he added, eyeing me. I felt my stomach twist. I'd spent hours prepping food, not planning to play groundskeeper. The dog mess, especially, got under my skin. Why was that my job? "Look, Ron," I said, keeping my voice steady. "I'm not dressed for this. I thought this was a BBQ food. Drinks. He crossed his arms, his smile gone. "It's family." He shot back. "We all chip in." Sarah shifted beside me, her hand brushing mine, like she sensed the tension. The others stared, waiting for my next move. Surprise was giving way to frustration. I wasn't here to scrub someone else's mess or haul branches in my good shoes. The invitation hadn't mentioned work, just a good time. It felt like I'd been lured under false pretenses, roped into Ron's project without a heads up. My excitement for the day drained away, replaced by a growing urge to push back. The air grew thick after I told Ron I wasn't doing yard work. His eyes narrowed, and the chatter around the patio stopped. "If you won't help, you're not welcome," he snapped. My ex-wife's cousins nodded, their faces hard. One muttered, "Always gotta be difficult." Sarah's hand tightened in mine, her silence urging me to stay calm. But inside, I was done. I wasn't about to ruin my clothes or play along with this bait and switch. We brought food. "Ron," I said, voice firm, "that's what you asked for." Nobody said anything about shovels or dog mess. He scoffed, turning away, like I was a kid throwing a tantrum. The others started grabbing tools, shooting me looks. It stung family I'd known for years, acting like I was the problem. I looked at Sarah. Her eyes said, "We don't need this." I nodded. "We're out," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. I grabbed our cooler, still packed with the sausages and salads we'd spent hours making. Sarah followed, head high. As we walked to the car, I heard someone call, "Good riddance." My chest tightened. But I kept moving. We drove in silence for a bit, the BBQ's tension still clinging to us. Then Sarah suggested a country pub we'd passed before. Tucked off the highway, it was a warm, cozy spot with wooden tables and soft music. We ordered burgers and cold beers, the kind that hit just right. The server's easy smile and the clink of glasses felt like a reset. Sitting there, watching Sarah laugh at a bad joke, I felt relief wash over me. This was what I'd wanted from the day. Still, a small part of me nagged. Had I overreacted? These were people I'd shared holidays with, who'd cheered at my kids' games. Their rejection hurt. Sharp and raw, I'd stood my ground. But at what cost? I pushed the thought down, focusing on the fries in front of me. For now, I was free of Ron's demands. But I couldn't shake the feeling this wasn't over. After the pub dinner, Sarah and I got home, still savoring the calm of the evening. The BBQ fiasco felt like a bad dream, but I hoped it was behind us. Then my phone buzzed. I opened social media and saw posts from my ex-wife's younger cousin's kids in their late teens and early 20s. Lazy jerk bailed on family. One wrote, another posted, "Scared of a little work." Pathetic. My stomach dropped. These were public, for everyone to see. I scrolled through the comments. Each one a jab. He brought food, but couldn't lift a shovel. Thinks he's too good for us. I barely knew these kids. Some I'd only met once or twice at family events. Yet here they were, trashing me like I'd burned the house down. I'd spent hours making sausages, pasta salad, and potato salad, thinking I was contributing. But all they saw was me walking away from Ron's chores. I showed Sarah. She shook her head, angry for me. They didn't even mention the food, she said, or how Ron sprung that work on us. She was right. The posts twisted the story, painting me as some deadbeat who dodged family duty. I'd been to plenty of their gatherings, cheered at their kids' games, even helped with small tasks before. But refusing one unannounced job made me the villain. I sat on the couch, staring at my phone. Indignation burned in my chest. I wanted to fire back, set the record straight. I typed a reply, then deleted it. What was the point? They decided who I was. Still, the hurt lingered. These were people I'd shared Thanksgivings with, laughed with over Christmas dinners. Now they were tearing me down online, and it felt personal. I kept replaying the BBQ. Was I wrong to leave? I could have grabbed a broom, kept the peace, saved my clothes somehow. Maybe I'd still be part of the family instead of a punching bag. But then I thought of Ron's smug tone, the way they ganged up when I said no. Staying would have meant caving to their game. I wasn't sure what was right anymore, but the sting of their words made me question everything my choice, my place with them, even who I was to this family. The sting of those social media posts lingered. But by Monday, I was ready to move on. Sarah and I sat down over coffee to unpack the BBQ mess. "You did the right thing," she said, her voice steady. "They can't just spring work on you like that." Her support felt like a lifeline. I'd been second-guessing myself, but hearing her say it out loud eased the knot in my chest. We talked about how Ron's family always seemed to blur the line between gathering and chore list. I started thinking back to other times with them. 2 years ago, at a 4th of July cookout, Ron had everyone stack firewood before we could eat. Another time, at a kid's birthday, I ended up hauling chairs for an hour. I hadn't minded much then, small favors for family. Right. But now I saw a pattern. They'd invite you for fun, then hit you with tasks like it was a given. No heads up. No choice. The BBQ was just the straw that broke me. Later that day, my ex-wife, Lisa, called. I braced myself. Ron's upset. She started, "You could have helped a little. It's family." Her tone was half scolding, half pleading. I took a deep breath. "Lisa, nobody told me I'd be cleaning dog crap or digging a garden," I said. "I brought food. That was the deal." She sighed, admitting, "Yeah, Ron should have been clearer." It wasn't much, but her concession felt like a small win. Still, her defending Ron first rankled me. I thought about firing back at those social media posts. My fingers itched to type. I brought 3 dishes. Where's your gratitude? But Sarah talked me down. Give it a week, she said. They'll move on. She was right. Clapping back would just fan the flames. Instead, I started thinking about how to handle this family going forward. I decided I'd ask up front about any group projects before agreeing to show up. No more surprises. Talking it out with Sarah and hearing Lisa's half apology left me feeling mixed. I was grateful for Sarah's backup. She'd been my rock through this, but Lisa's call stirred up frustration. Like I was still justifying myself to people who should know better. By the end of the day, though, I felt a new resolve. I wasn't going to let Ron's crew guilt me into their games anymore. I'd set boundaries, starting now, and stick to them. After setting my new rule to clarify expectations, I felt ready to test it. 3 weeks later, my ex-wife's family invited Sarah and me to a birthday party for one of the kids. I called Lisa ahead of time. What's the plan? I asked. Just cake, games, and hanging out, she said. No projects, I pressed. She laughed, promising it was just a party. I felt cautious but agreed to go, hoping they'd respect my stance from the BBQ. The party was at Ron's place again. Walking in, I braced myself. The backyard was decked out with balloons and a bounce house. Kids screaming with joy. It looked like the real deal. No shovels in sight. Sarah and I brought a tray of cupcakes, our contribution clear and agreed upon. For a while, it was great sipping lemonade, chatting with cousins, watching the kids dive into presents. I started to relax, thinking maybe things could be normal. Then Ron pulled me aside. Hey, he said, voice low. Sorry about the BBQ. Misunderstanding, you know. His apology felt half-hearted. More. The boundary I set after that birthday party became my blueprint for dealing with my ex-wife's family. 2 years later, things have shifted, not perfect, but better. I got invited to another BBQ at Ron's last weekend, and this time, I went in prepared. I called Lisa a week before. What's expected? I asked. She laid it out. I'd bring food. Others would handle setup and cleanup. Clear roles, no surprises. It felt like a win, proof that sticking to my guns had paid off. The BBQ was different from that disastrous one years ago. I brought a platter of grilled chicken wings and Sarah's pasta salad. Same as always, Ron and the cousins set up tables and chairs. No one batting an eye at me for sticking to my task. We ate, laughed, and played cornhole under string lights. My kids were there, running around with their cousins, and I loved seeing them bond. I kept my distance from deeper family stuff, though cordial chats, not heart-to-hearts. That's where I'm at with them now. Ron's changed, too. He's not the pushy guy he was. After I kept reinforcing my limits politely but firmly, he started respecting them. Last year, he even asked if I was okay, just bringing dessert to a holiday party. No extra tasks, I nodded, surprised. Sounds good, I said. It's not like we're buddies, but he gets it now. The social media drama from those cousins, ancient history. I blocked the loudest ones back then, and nobody's brought it up since. It's like it never happened. Sarah's been my rock through all this. She's the one who kept saying, "You're not wrong to want respect." Her belief in me made me stronger, less likely to cave to guilt trips. Looking back, I see how much I've grown. I used to worry about fitting in with that family, even after the divorce. Now, I'm confident in who I am. Someone who values clear communication and won't bend just to keep the peace. My big lesson: boundaries don't just protect you. They can change how people treat you. I'm content with where things stand. My kids have their grandparents and cousins, and I've got a relationship with Ron's crew that works distant but civil. I don't need their approval anymore. Sitting on my porch tonight, cold beer in hand, I feel good. I've built a life with Sarah, my kids, and my own terms. That's enough.